The paranormal world is one of moving shadows. Strange figures hidden just out of sight. Supernatural phenomena usually offers more questions than answers. Spirits, demons, and the undead. Join us as we journey into the darkness. With researchers, investigators, psychics, or mediums, each one getting us one step closer to the truth. I'm Sean Wagner, and these are the Paranormal Files. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Files into the Darkness. I am your host, Sean Wagner, as always. Along with me is my co-host, Michael Purcell. How are you doing, Michael?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great.
How was your holiday?
Tonight, we're lucky enough. Go ahead. What?
Oh, I was just saying, how was your holiday? But
okay. Well, tonight we're lucky enough to have a great guest. Oh, my holiday was great. How about yours?
That was good. Yeah, you're a little frozen, so let's bring April on, and we'll get this party started. I'll fill in when you freeze.
I'm a little frozen. Okay, I will. Try to work my way out and then back in. Yeah, you're gonna have to because I don't know why, but I'm having issues here. Apparently, I'm gonna try to get out and get back in then. But in the meantime, our guest tonight. She's a natural-born clairvoyant, celebrity, psychic medium, and shaman and ghost hunter, as well as founder of Ghosted Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is a psychic housewife of New Jersey, the lovely April Busset.
How are you
doing, April?
Sean, we're calling you Mr. Roboto, and you're like a demon or something, a shadow figure, like charging at us when you freeze. It's like all of a sudden you're like, which I've had done to me.
It's kind of cool. It's like that's not special effects, but that should be because you're like,
what is that movie with Russell Crowe? It was Russell Crowe. It's like from the 80s, and he's like a robot, and he would move like that. That's what Sean does. He's like moving like a robot. And welcome to the show.
That's funny.
Hey, Michael, you keep the show going. I'm going to get out here and get back on and see if I can take care of my problem.
Let's have a toast real quick before you disappear. Do a good show. I'll be disappeared. Cheers. Well,
Michael, it's nice to meet you. How you doing? What's going on?
Not much. It's what?
Michael, it's good things starting for you too. There's like you're going to go into a lucky period.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling. There's going to be a little bit more money coming in.
Oh.
And I feel this like celebration around you. Too, did somebody just move or somebody leave?
Leave
no. Or move. And do you have like this I was picking like a D name, I don't know what DA name.
DA.
Or it might be for Sean, so.
Yeah, maybe. Anybody move in your area?
Well, no. Don't get me wrong. Don't think that the DA is moving, but I'm also picking up a name, DA name. Yeah, but I feel like somebody's moving. Also, somebody hasn't been feeling well. Somebody's been ill or going through a hard time around you.
I know my mother. Yeah, okay. She had slight dementia.
Okay. Is she in a hospital or a home right now?
No, she's in her home.
You're going to eventually move her into a place where they're going to have to take care of her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I talked about that.
I know. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's going to be for the best so somebody takes care of her because she's going to have episodes I'm seeing with her. You know, okay. I know. I went through my grandmother. It's really, it's a tough thing to see, but it's better that they have care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and have somebody watching all the time.
They're stubborn. My dad's going to be 82. My mom just turned 78 on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
there's gonna be a lot of legal paperwork that has to go over. Make sure you do the paperwork with them.
Okay.
There's paperwork that has to be done. I don't know if they're missing payments or doing like I know there's a lot of confusion around there.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, somebody's having a problem with the ankle or the foot.
Oh, it's my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has plantar fasciitis. Sometimes her gout acts up. She's a.
It almost looks like her foot drops, like it can't move, like it's. I've heard of foot drop, and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like my foot. I'm having problems with the foot, like the bending of it too.
Yeah, so, it's like really weird. She had to check because she had one time she thought she broke the top of her foot because every now and then the top of her foot hurts. So she went to the doctor. We bought these inserts, and they're like, get rid of the inserts, and it felt good for a while, and it's back again.
Yeah, I don't think it's broken, but there's an issue with the foot. I think it's going to be nerves, though.
Nerves, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to be fine. This is not serious. It's just yes. I want her to be careful when she walks.
Okay, and then she's a paramedic, so she's on her feet.
Oh my God, that poor thing.
Yep. When she's not being a paramedic, she works per diem in endoscopy, so it's butts.
Oh wow,
she's always on her feet.
God bless her.
Yeah.
Somebody's
that extra money that's coming in.
Yeah, there's more money coming in, and I see like training around. Somebody's going into training. Like training, learning something, like some kind of schooling or something. And also I keep you're gonna hear of a pregnancy, so I don't know if this is Sean, like not saying you guys again, but I keep seeing something with a pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
I definitely see more money coming in. And I almost think somebody, it's either you or her, is gonna like kind of move up into a position. I don't know if it's a promotion or move, like it's kind of moved up because people might be leaving, so they have to take over, and there's going to be money thrown.
Oh, okay.
At that. So I think that's how it happens. But who's the D name?
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I can't think of a D. Yeah.
D-A. And oh my God, I heard another name before. I can't remember. Yeah, you'll be calling me. You're like, oh, I know who that is.
No.
But anyway, I think her foot, and she's paramedic, is nerve damage or something pressing on the nerve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know what I'm afraid for her, like, is falling. Not that I see her falling. It's because she's going to get, like, I always like I get ghost leg because I hurt my back. And sometimes my leg will go funky, and I feel like she's gonna like kind of get that ghost foot, like where she doesn't feel it.
Oh, okay. And then she's gonna come down on
Yeah. I've done that a million times, so I fall all the time. I just fall for no reason. So
that's
I need a paramedic with me all the time.
So at what age did you start noticing this ability? Because I'm fascinated by this.
You what?
I'm fascinated by it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It actually the story, like I always tell everyone, my mom moved us to a small town in New Jersey, and we moved to this new house. And I was sleeping one night, and I woke up because my father was standing at the bed, so I'm like yelling for my mom, Daddy's here, and I'm calling for my mom. And my mom comes running in, and of course he disappears because he was dead for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
That's why we moved. She remarried. So, but from that, now, we started getting, he must have, when he came to visit me, wherever spirits are, others follow.
Okay.
So all hell broke loose in the house. We were like being haunted. It was terrible. We were getting grabbed, pushed. I was seeing them, but my family was kind of, you could feel, when you go into a place, you could feel like something's off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then my family started like getting pushed. Their ankles were getting grabbed on the stairs.
Oh.
So that's how it started. And then as I started getting older, there's more to the story, like this funky stuff, because the people that I was seeing in the house, holy crap. I want a side note. This is why when somebody that is psychic, sensitive, whatever, moves into a place and activity starts, it's because they can sense that, and it kind of like activates them. It activates the spirits. So that's why you can go into a haunted location and not feel anything, but you bring a medium in and they're going to pick up everything, or move a medium into a new house where there's no activity, and activity is going to start.
Wow.
Because they're attracting the spirits.
Because they know you have the ability to see or hear.
Yeah, because we look different. It's like like we all have that, we know about an aura. We have auras.
Yeah.
Our aura is brighter.
Oh, okay.
It shines bright, so they could say, "Hey, we know that person." And matter of fact, it's funny. I was tell a story, and I wish it would have been filmed or recorded. This is 100 years ago. I was with a group of friends of mine, and I, when I try to like hone in on something, I actually like raise my vibration, and the way I see it and feel it, it goes into like a cone above my head, and I'm like going as high as possible to just make connections. And somebody had the floor camera, and I said, "Hey, point that at me," and they could see the cone going up and up over my head, and I'm like, "Oh my God," because I always explain it like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sean.
Hey, Sean, what's going on?
Hey, thank you. Hopefully,
you're missing one hell of a show.
Thanks for coming back.
I know.
We're running the whole freaking place.
That's right. You just sit there and look pretty. We got it.
We got you.
Sure
Don't
you
worry.
guys did.
So did you
Hopefully
take you a while? I'm sorry. Did it take you a while to kind of hone in and kind of block? Like, because I can imagine with all of that.
It's not even blocking. I know everyone says that. I don't have to block. It's like, I'll tell you, if I'm in the mood for it and I set the intention, like I want to hone in on something, and that's how it works. I guess when it started, like, when this first started, like all the spirits coming at me, it was a little crazy. But I, now I'm growing up and hanging out with friends and everything, but just small things that have happened, like, stupid shit, but people like are freaked out by, like, I would know stuff. There was like one time in like I was in the first grade and the teacher's up on the board and I kept yelling at the answers, and they wanted to like me to skip a grade. They called my parents and she's gifted. I'm like, no, I'm stupid. I don't know. I said, but somebody was telling me the answers. So like,
wow,
it was funny. And then like, growing up, like, so now I'm like in my teens and, I would just, say people's names around people and they're like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I really don't know. I have no idea. I'm like hearing it or seeing, I just feel it. I know there's somebody around you. So now my friends, I start doing readings for friends and family. I actually went to a psychic. This is funny. I went to a psychic because I love them too. And she said, you're gifted. And she gave me a deck of tarot cards. And that's how I saw it. I never learned how to read them, but they were scary as hell. I hated those cards. I swear to freaking God. But I would use them and I would do readings on family members. And I remember being with one of my friends' family. And I said to her, I said, listen, I said, I know you're worried about a person having cancer. I said, they don't have cancer. They're going to be fine. So she starts crying. And I find out a couple of days later, it was my friend's sister. They thought she had cancer. Oh, and she came out, she was clean, she was okay. So I'm like, oh, all right. So now people start hearing about me. And now I start doing homes. Like people ask me to come to the houses because they're having issues. And I would just go into the house and see what's going on and get rid of it or not get rid of it. Because, listen, what you see on TV and movies, they have free will. If they're human, they don't have to leave. And some of them don't want to leave because they're afraid.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So like
makes sense.
Yeah, so if you did something bad, and you're thinking you're going to the other place, you're going to be afraid to go into that light.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you something else too. Like when a lot of haunted locations that I go to, I get hired to go to locations by big haunted places, big well-known places, and this, where the spirits are, they'll always be one spirit there that's bad, and it's not human form, and it's not demonic, but it's not the friendliest thing you want, but it actually tries to control the other spirits there, the human spirits, and keep them there, and they kind of enslave them. It's like there's like there's ghost slavery going on, man. We have to start fighting for this.
That's crazy.
Well, that's something.
It's crazy, but this happens because I remember I was at a location and they never let anyone in the basement. They do now. They do, and I remember going down in the basement, and I'm like, they're like, "What do you see?" I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like there's this tall, lanky man with a bloody devil's head. I know. Listen, when you hear things like that, they can appear to you any way they want. They want to scare you. So not that he really looks like that, but he wanted me to be scared. And I was. But and
that would be scary to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
This thing starts like vibrating at this high frequency. It's almost like he was spinning around the room and only I could feel it. And it actually penetrated like my auric field and I felt sick. And I'm like, oh my God, I never had that happen to me before. And I'm like, oh, well, this is friggin' new. I'm going to need like Wonder Woman bracelets for this shit. So I said, listen, I can't stay down here. I feel sick. I ran up the stairs. I'm like, holy crap. So I'm sitting there. They're still downstairs. And all of a sudden, this is the craziest thing. But you remember Freddy Krueger when he comes through the wall and it's like kind of rubbery?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see. This thing comes like through the wall. And he's like, I'm not here for the humans. I'm here for them. I'm like telling me to back off. Don't bother him, or he showed me what he could do to me.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, dude, have fun. I signed a waiver. I can't do anything anyway. So, like, just for real, like, do what you got to do. But they actually tell them not to go into the light. They tell them not to go into the light. They're going to end up in the other place. Being tricked. So,
interesting.
So I can tell them, yes, it's okay. And I'll tell them their family members are there. Like this one home that I went to do, I went to the house and I remember the lady calls me up and I said, all right, I could see what was going on, but I didn't want to tell her over the phone because it sounds scary. They'll be scared. So when she's talking, I see this creepy crawly woman, like, the ones that crawling up on the wall and everything, like all crazy and shit. That's what I was seeing. And I see it in the kitchen and knocking things off the shelves. So I get to the house and I walk past, I go to the kitchen. I said, the thing's crawling here. And I tell her what I saw. And I said, it's knocking things off the shelves. I said, let's see what's going on here, So I'm walking around the house and I get to the master bedroom. And all of a sudden there's this female spirit, an older woman. And she's like, get out, pushing me out. I'm like, all right. And I looked to the girl and I said, I forgot the woman's name. I said, who's Clara? And she goes, that's my mother. She died. And I said, well, she's not letting anybody in this room. She goes, that's because we all sleep in there because we're afraid of what's going on. I said, oh, well, she's doing a good job. So I'm like, because she was pushing me out. So they were all hiding in the bedroom and her deceased mom was protecting them from this thing. So, and then I'm in the living room and I said, you're hearing scratching on the floor, aren't you? And I said, that's because she stays downstairs. So now we go down to the basement and I'm walking around and I said, who's Brian? And they said, turn around. And I look and there's a fireman's suit and it says Brian, whatever the last name was. Their friend just passed away. He's a fireman.
Oh, wow.
And I said, he stays here to protect you too, guys, you guys. So anyway, I finally get a hold of this thing and it has a spot in the basement in the corner. And I start talking to her because she just talked to him like normal. I'm like, hey, listen, you got to cross over. You got to go into light. Your family's there. And I find out from her that she used to live there when the house was first built. I don't know, in the 1920s or something. She went crazy. She had mental issues. Her husband put her in a beautiful place. He sold the house so he could afford this. He has since passed. And she was coming back looking for him, but she was scared of these people in the house. So she wanted to scare them. If you do not cross over and you get stuck, you kind of start going a little crazy because you're not connected to anything. So you're left, you start losing memories. You're even starting to forget why you're there. But all you know is that they're the enemy who's ever there, these humans. So... But so it was funny. This is probably one of 3 times I've seen this. But I told her, listen, go into the light. And I actually saw the light. It's like this big, bright light. And she just like got sucked into it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But now it's not always that great, right? Now I'm working with 2 clients right now, 2 different clients. And I can't get rid of what's in the house. And it sucks. And I'm like, I'm going to have to call in the big guns. I have a friend that's a Catholic demonologist and I can tell him like, Michael, you're going to have to come here. I'm like, I can't, this thing's not listening to me, and the one house I go to, I actually got rid of the human spirit that was part of the house that was attached to this house. Cause I remember walking and I said, did you do construction on the house? And they're like, yeah. I said, did you find children's books behind the the wall. And they did. And I said, there's a woman here. I guess she was afraid to leave the kids. And so she kind of came back. But there's another thing there, like a non-human thing, that was making her do things. I was able to cross her over. What, are you losing connection too? What the hell's going on?
No, I don't know.
What's wrong with you? No.
I'm entering the studio. I'm like,
He's popping in, popping out. What do you think this is?
I'm Beetlejuice. Did you say my name 3 times?
In the middle of a freaking story, and you're interrupting me now. I'm kidding. You gotta get used to my sense of humor.
No. And I left. I bopped out when I heard children's book behind the wall.
Yeah, see,
I'm back again.
They're coming after you. So anyway, so now this thing is still there, and he's not leaving. It's on you. Like, he's not listening to me. He doesn't give a shit what I have to say. I have no control over this, and everything I've been doing is not working. And this thing is actually, this is crazy, but it's a small apartment. There's one bathroom that's off the kitchen. The man will be sitting in his living room, which is right next to the kitchen, and he's having wet towels thrown at him. Now, mind you, all the sinks and the bathroom are not wet. So, so that's crazy, right? Well, I always tell people poltergeist activity. Poltergeist, how poltergeist activity, plus the moving stuff and everything. He would wake up and his fruit would be like in a perfect circle on the floor, stuff like that. But this another thing with poltergeist. Poltergeist manifests from a liquid. It's like water. And I always forget, there's one other, it's normal water, but there's one mineral in it that's not normal to be in water that they found. They tested, but
they actually tested it though.
No, I didn't test it, but I know of cases where they tested the water where it was manifesting. So it will have something, it messes with water. So, okay. Because where's the water come from? Because the sinks are dry. And let me tell you something, this guy's not crazy. He's a normal guy. He doesn't give a shit about the paranormal. He doesn't care about ghosts. He doesn't even really believe in it until it started happening. He just wants it gone. So, but it also, this is so crazy. I remember when he told me, I laughed my ass off. He's finding his mattress like in the bathroom or sticking out of the closet. I'm like, that's so funny. He's like, you gotta get. I have to keep going back. So I remember doing this, and I got rid of the woman, and the thing had seemed to have left the first time. And I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Probably in a year from now, you're going to give me a call. The activity is going to start. Because I don't feel like it's gone, but I kind of banished it for a little while, and it's going to get back in. And it's usually a year. And sure enough, a year to the day, I had to go back there. And this thing's smart. Now I'm driving there, and I'm actually doing a live and going on a residential case. I start feeling really sick. And I'm like, all right, this is not normal sick. This is like, it's making me sick. So I'm like, I can't go. I always say, don't investigate or go to places like this if you don't feel well, because it weakens you and they can attack you. Not that I never had an attachment, and half the people that say they do, I don't believe. So it's very rare. It's a rare thing, but I just don't feel like, I'm going to be at my weakest moment. If you have a fight with family, wife, whatever, don't go on investigation. You are weakened. You're putting yourself out there. So, anyway, turn around. I went back there again. I just have to keep going back until it leaves, until I weaken it to leave. I have to weaken this. But with this case, it's weird because I told him it's attached to somebody downstairs, and he actually has not a tenant. It's a 2-family house, so they both own it. It's the guy downstairs. The guy won't even talk to me. Wow. And yeah, he won't talk to me, and I'm like, well, that's why, So it's attached to him. Like some people will have it. He has PTSD. He's from being in the war, so he's an easy target to be attached to. Because once they get in your head and mentally mess with you, he was already mentally messed with. Now it knows what to do to him. He wants nothing to do with me. And I said, as long as he's here, this thing will remain unless I could talk to this guy. So that's another case. That's going to be ongoing, forever, so wow. Until this guy leaves, or if, he'll let me talk to him. No, I got another one. It's just crazy. I actually, I was in the house and I'm doing the walkthrough, and I go into the one room, and they said this is where the husband was staying before he passed. While he was sick. He didn't pass there, but while he was sick. And I said, I'm going to tell you something really scary that I say. I said, while he was in here, there was this black figure, like with black wings on top of him, almost like compressing his chest. So the daughter, now, mind you, these are prominent people. This is a cardiologist. Wow. The daughter is a very well-to-do Manhattan psychiatrist, and she looks at me and she goes, April, she goes, I used to see that all the time. This used to be my bedroom. And I said, this has been here for a long time then. So, and I think the husband kind of was in cahoots with it or something, or liked it. Some people like it.
No.
Because
is there a way it helps you or something?
No, it lies to you. It makes you feel like it's doing things for you. I'm going to better your career, more money, I mean, I've had this with elementals doing this to me at the Conjuring house before going there. They try to make deals with you. It's weird, but you can't fall for it. Like you don't even know who you're talking to, so it's like, but people will fall under it. And it's usually people that have mental issues, drug issues, prior drug issues. Because I had another case where the guy was actually possessed, but it's not like, the exorcist, nothing like that. He's very normal, has family and everything. But he liked it. Oh. He liked it. And there's that reminder. You have a reading. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know how the freak they snuck in. I blocked it off.
No problem whatsoever.
You know what that is, Sean? That's like when you're going out on a date and you're like, hey, in about a half hour, give me a call, because if it's not exactly out, it was like, look, I have a reading at 7:45 in case this show goes south. I have an hour.
No, I love this. I love doing shows. It's on my phone. It's right there. 20-minute reading. No.
It's okay, April.
No.
That's perfectly fine.
You come back, we'll believe you that you didn't plan that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you know what? You have me back on. We'll do live readings. You get people to come on, and we'll do live reading. Now, where is this shown? Just on YouTube?
We're also on Facebook.
Okay.
But pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you do that. I'm telling you, people love the readings. So usually when I go on, everyone wants me to do readings. So I'll just read the audience. Nobody gives a shit about me. Nobody cares about me.
Hey, we'd be glad to have you come on.
Just read, lady, read.
How does that work? How does that work, by the way, when you do the readings?
I'm sorry, what do I do? Right here.
How does it work? Okay.
Oh,
I mean, do people just say hello or say anything or give their birth date or something like that?
Hello. No. So I do like different readings. So like, because I used to get people like message me, hey, I just have one question. All right, listen, we're not going to do that, because I used to get sucked into that. And I'm like, I got a business to run and I got a family. This is my full-time job. So I did the 20-minute reading, which is perfect for, answering that question. That I have a half-hour reading, 45-minute. This is all, psychic. But the hour reading is mediumship. So before the mediumship, the psychic one's like so easy to me. It's like second nature. But before I do the mediumship, what I do is I kind of meditate, to connect and try and pick up who I'm going to be talking to before I go on. So I'll go on, start talking to the person. Yeah, it's in the vibration of their voices too. And I'll tell you, I never thought this is a thing, but you get the skeptics. For some reason, not that I give a shit. You don't believe, I don't care, but you got to say, I don't want any information. Don't tell me anything. I don't want your phone number, your, whatever, what sign you are. What I'm telling you, just acknowledge, yes, this is true or whatever. That's all you got to say. I had this lady last week. So I'm like, all right. I'm not even going to fight her. I'm like, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to ignore her. And she's not answering it. And I would just say, is this correct? She said, yes. And, I saw the plane crash. I know this is an explosion. That, the husband was killed in 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was crazy. But then I was going on to she didn't tell me it's on. Now she's not talking. She's not saying shit to me. So I don't know if I'm going the right direction. And I'm like, lady, you just got to give me, just talk. Say, yes, you're correct. Because of something with the vibration when you're connecting. It's that vibration with them. That's why you can do it over the phone. Just it's the vibration of the voice. I actually like to look at people so I can make fun of them. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so I started telling her things. I'm throwing things at her. I'm throwing names at her. And by the end of the reading, she's like, holy shit. She's like, you just blew my mind. She's like, will you do a party? No, I'm like, depending where you are. but I get those people. It's hard. Like if you're gonna stand like this, and I get their skeptics, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell me. When I do live readings, I have no idea who I'm talking. I get people from the UK all over. So I don't have a lot of time to look these people up. So the hell am I gonna know? And I go on shows where they'll have people in the background that I have no idea that they bring on. And then I'll do that. Like, one girl was funny because I brought her, I think her father or grandfather through, and he came out. I think it was a harmonica, like doing the harmonica. And she's like, oh my God, he did, he played the harmonica, so it was cute, But that's it. It's a connection with vibration, and with the person, just feeling the energy. But I tell them it's like playing charades with spirit, because it's not like you have a conversation. Because I see people doing this, okay, Bob, and I'm like, you're full of shit. No, because I'm just getting images, and once in a while you'll get like DA. Look at what I was doing a reading. This is funny. I'm doing a reading for this woman, and the guy that I'm connecting to is like spelling out his name. I'm like, all right, there's an MARIO. I'm like, oh, Mario. So she's like, oh my God, that's her ex-boyfriend, like that just passed, and that's who she wants to connect with. But it's funny, that's how you get things. Sometimes you don't hear them clearly. I mean, they're in another friggin' dimension. This is not like talking on the friggin' phone. So it's like, so they'll show me pictures, or I'll see, and what they do, a lot of them do, is they use, and I like to say my brain, my database in my brain. So they'll show me somebody I know. So I will say the name or their profession, because this is another thing I had happened from working for the police. I remember I'm doing a reading for this woman. I said, there's a man here that passed, and they're showing me this police officer I used to work with, except they're showing me him in civilian clothing. And I'm like arguing in my head. I'm like, well, that's weird. I've never seen him out of uniform. So why am I seeing him like this? And I'm like arguing back and forth. And I hear say his name. I'm like, oh. I said, who's Bruce? And she's like, oh, that's my brother. And I'm like, oh, all right. So it's playing charades. It's, it's like, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes you get to, sometimes I've had spirits like come before a reading, and they do start talking. And like, I had a guy tell me his couple times, tell me their full name. So I remember I'm going to do this reading. I'm actually doing like a house call, a favor for my husband. And I go to the house, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's driving me crazy. He's been at my house telling me how to drive, like, telling me I went the wrong way, whatever. And I'm going to change the name. He says his name is Johnny Butler. And he kept saying, Johnny Butler, Johnny Butler. I'm like, all right, I heard you. So I said, this guy said his name 3 times, Johnny Butler, like Beetlejuice. So the guy goes, that's my father-in-law. He just died. I'm like, well, he's a pain in the ass. I'm like, this guy actually like came back in the car with me, the spirit, and I'm like, you get the hell out of here. You're annoying. He was like a backseat driver, like I could feel like I was like he's getting mad at me, like going the wrong. Not that he's yelling at me. I just could feel him like I'm going the wrong way, and I'm like, shut up, get out, get out of my car. So that's scary. I don't like that, like in the car. Like even if I'm done like investigations, everything, I'm like, you know what? You should see those movies. I get scared too, man. You look in the rearview mirror and there's like something there. You're like, ah. I've seen some scary stuff,
New career, a spirit Uber driver.
Yeah, I know, right? Bastards. No.
Oh, that's funny. That's some interesting.
Did you ever have like experience if you've been touched or pushed or anything like that?
So a funny story. My wife has some abilities. Yeah. Because like you were saying how people, when you went to that psychic, she's like, you have abilities.
Yeah.
Since she was a child, she's seen and stuff. So I'm in the house. It'll be 16 years come February, at the end of February. She moved in probably 7 years ago. And
why you wouldn't let her move in before then? No,
we're only together 7 years. Yeah, I know. I really didn't like her that much. So I was keep her
all right, you could come in.
I was like, come on. After a while, no.
You can come out of the tent now.
And she's home right now, so she hears me. But so when she moved in, the one night we were in bed. Now we're backs to each other, and she's like, "Did you just put your hand on my thigh?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "I felt a cold hand cover her thigh." I'm like, "That wasn't me, because I'm not usually cold." So you're
not in the mood, but the ghost is.
Exactly. So like old fashioned. What do? We just switch sides of the bed. Go across the middle, right? So yeah, she's been touched. She's I remember asking and that's how I met Sean, because they came and investigated my house, and there were some spirits here. And my son's like, I remember one time, and now my son's just turned 24, but this was probably when he was younger. She's like, maybe when Gwen and I started dating, he was here by himself.
Wait,
and he goes,
did you see something? Like, did anyone see something in the corner? There's in the back room.
I did not, but my parents did, that you mentioned.
Okay, yeah, that
back corner room.
Yeah.
Funny story, real quick. I know you're out of time. We gotta pick up this, but yeah, my wife's been touched. Matter of fact, she had
and she liked it. No, I'm kidding.
No, she hasn't told me. She doesn't like when I touch her, because I don't have that electric touch. She was at the kitchen table. I used to travel for work, and she's like, there was like a hand on her shoulder. I've heard some. The only thing I got was and look, I'd love to get touched. I'm open for it. But
yeah.
But I heard
it's all about your energy and connecting.
No.
Like opening yourself up, like to connect. Like it'll happen. Yes,
So funny story. My parents got COVID when COVID was the big end all, and my mom got to my dad. They both in the hospital. She came home she came here when my dad got out. I brought him here. They were here for a couple months. Now, my mom said she's seen like a man at her house. She's seen him when she was a kid. We got married in Ireland, and one morning she woke up and she goes, because we stayed in a small castle.
Nice.
I saw a knight at the end of my bed. And I'm like, okay, Mom. I'm like, at first I'm like, maybe it's the medication. And then the one night when she was here about that back bedroom, real quick, she says, were you and Gwen talking around 2:30 in the morning? I said, no, we were sleeping at 2:30 in the morning. She's like, I heard a male and a female voice. Mm-hmm. And then the one night she's like, she woke up and she saw a woman at the end of her bed. And then there was a man at the doorway. And then a little child came out of the closet. It was crazy. So
did they interact with her or like notice her?
I don't know if they interacted. They just she never said what they did. She just said they stood there. They didn't,
Yeah, because the only thing, like I always say, like, it could be residual, which they usually don't know that you're there. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But it's very rare a child will be there. So obviously your mom might have some type of gift and sensitive that she's seeing this.
Okay.
So, but yeah, because I definitely see something like in the back room because it's dark to me.
Yep. Yeah, because it was my son's room, and he hasn't, he was only here on weekends. Now he's out of college and all that good stuff. So yeah. So, but and then the one night. So after that, we put a camera in their room, and then we put I didn't even notice. Outside the room, we put my wife Gwen put a voice recorder, and they moved out about a month or two after they moved out. She's like, I'm gonna go play this voice recorder. Now we don't have any young women here. So
I don't think your wife will allow that.
No, she's a stickler to that. That's such a wife thing.
I know. See, I'm like that too. I'm with her.
And about an hour or so in, you actually heard a young voice, a female voice, in like a whisper, go, "Watch them." Yeah,
that's awesome.
Freaked me out. Yeah,
that's cool. Freaking awesome. I love EVPs.
Until she moved in, I could have had things here, but I never.
Yeah, your mom probably activated. Yeah,
her, my mom, between those two.
Your wife, yeah. Usually, if there's somebody sensitive or has some type of abilities, we'll activate them. They're like, all right, come on, guys, come out and play. Woo!
And a funny story about
let's scare the shit out of them.
We were at my friend's house a week and a half ago, not this past Sunday, the other Sunday. Now, she's kind of honing in her skills a little bit where she could tell if there's something in the area. Da, da, da. So he was saying about outside his office, because he works from home, they have like his mom who passed last year and stuff like her ashes and stuff, and a couple of ashes. And he was talking, he's like, and sometimes around midnight, after midnight, he's like, I'll see something like a shadow walk out the kitchen window. He goes, but I have cameras out there that's triggered off. And he's like, but there's a light, a neighbor that's up on the behind him a ways has a light, and you could see something blocking that light. When he was telling the story, Gwen stopped and she's like, I have to tell you something. She's like, this is the first time it happened to her. She's like, I saw a woman, and she described the woman, and his jaw dropped. She's like, when you were telling the story, I saw the woman's face, but it wasn't her. Now, we never knew her, his mom, because she was from like the Chicago area, outside of Chicago in Indiana, I think. She presented herself as a young woman in her 30s because his jaw dropped. He looked on his iPad and found a picture and goes, is this her? And she's like, that's exactly who I saw.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Usually they won't try to harm you and they don't stick around. They just kind of watch over you.
He's going through some stress with his job, and
that could be it too. Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Could be it.
He got a new manager, a new director, and he's working like buku hours, and he's all this stuff. And he's
So the stress will definitely. That's another thing. That's a high different energy. It's a different type of energy, but it's a high energy. So you start attracting these entities and spirits and stuff. So it's all about frequency and energy.
That's awesome. So
I bet that's also a case of a lot of places where people don't know there's activity going on because they're, like Michael was, maybe a little bit oblivious to it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of that out there.
Yeah. It's, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on, there's spirits everywhere. I mean, come on. We've been here for thousands of years. Of course, somebody died here or something like that. It's, I went to a restaurant one time. This is funny. And I walk up to the restaurant and I'm like, oh, this place is haunted. I'm like, yes. So I'm like, I said, can I talk to the owner? And I started talking. He goes, yeah. He goes, this is exactly what's happened. I said, I'm going to tell you something else. They took me for a tour downstairs, and I said, this is Indian burial ground. He goes, yes. He goes, we are. Their restaurants on top, but that's so long ago that they found out. Not that they built the restaurant knowing this. It was already there. I said, and there's thousands of dead Indians here, and there's a woman, an Indian woman, that keeps like beating the drum, boom, boom, and to keep them asleep. It was weird. It was so weird, and I could hear the drum, and it was really. But now I'm walking past this wall, this stone wall that must have been there hundreds of years, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I see people chained to these walls, but they're not like slaves. It's like well-to-do people. Like this woman's well dressed, this man is well dressed." And the owner goes, no, we never had anything like that. And his one of the waiters who's lived in this area for a long time, he's go, no. He goes, there was a guy that used to own this property, that it was a home, and he enslaved some of the people. Like in town. He would bring them there. He didn't kill them. They got freed, but isn't that crazy? He's like, I never knew that. And I'm like, this is crazy shit. You know what? I never thought to like look it up or anything because I go to so many different places. I don't have time, you just want to go to sleep. But now that I'm thinking about it, that's a crazy story, right?
And what era was this that he was enslaving people?
It looked, I'm going to say, wait, let me look. Like when was like the Wild Wild West and stuff like that?
1800s.
Like the late 1800s.
No, I think
1880s.
late 1880s. All right, so it's got to be that era. I almost feel like it's a little less than that, but it's just I could tell the way she was dressed. She was well dressed, fully the long gown, which I would have died if I lived in that era. Oh my God, to wear all that clothing.
Oh.
I'm like, how did they not pass out? I would be one irritable bitch. But yeah, that's what it looks like. But it's funny. It was weird. I'm like, but he didn't even know about it, so it's crazy history. Like, you can find history anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like the town I grew up in, kids were playing in this field and they found tombstones. And it turned out to be Thomas Jefferson's slave cemetery. Thomas Jefferson or something. Somebody famous like that. But now it's all, like, fenced off and then, everything's nice. But that's crazy.
Wow.
Want to hear something crazy? The girl that I was in high school with said she buried up one of the bones and she, like, brought it to a party. And I'm like, you're so full of shit. But, spirits are everywhere. So, you can't hide.
Oh, definitely. And are you, like, always turned on as far as picking up stuff from spirits?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want to work all the time. I'm like,
or can you?
I don't know.
You can turn it off then.
It's like, you know what? It's like I guess for doing it for so many years, I have trained myself. Like, like I know, like, when I sit here, I know I'm going to work. Like, as soon as I sit, my brain, starts going, oh, spirits come around, So I know when I sit here, I'll start picking up stuff. If I'm out and if I intentionally do it, like I want to, but which I don't want to do. I don't feel like playing charades. I want to have a drink, But I'll tell you what. Yeah, this is sorry. I tell you, this is crazy. My husband, he pushes me to be better. Hello, Sal. Tell him about a range. Like, you could have done better. Ask more questions. Like, from the spirit. And I'm like, shut up. No. He goes, you should start doing world events. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not opening that can of worms. It's not for me. So the next morning I wake up, I said, all right, I'm going to try this. I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, all right, guys, tell me something I have to know that's going to happen. And I hear active shooter. So I'm like, okay. But now it shows me my daughter. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm freaking out. All right, I'm imagining this. Of course, normal react. I'm imagining it. But I hear she'll be far away. And I'm like, all right, I'm not even saying anything. This is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. This is my mind playing tricks on me, scaring me. Well, 9:00 that night, my daughter calls me. She's like, Mom, there's an active shooter. I fell to my knees. She goes, but we're far away. This happened at the mall here, American Dream, big mall here in New Jersey. And I hung up the phone with her and I looked at my husband. I'm like, you mother effer. I'm like, because you know why? You don't know when it's going to happen. You know how many people had dreams? Like, I'm not a prophetic dreamer. Like, I know people have dreams they dreamt of 9/11, but they didn't know when.
Right. Wow.
So it'll make you crazy. That's why I don't want to get into that. I don't want to make myself crazy. So, I mean, like, knowing something like that, I would go crazy. I would never let her out, even though I know she was going to be okay because it told me she'll be far away. I think they were kind of messing me, saying, "This is back off. This is why you don't do this." Yeah, and I'm like, "That's damn straight," because who knows if you interfere with destiny. Even though I'll do anything for my daughter, I'll take me, but I could mess something up and make something happen to her, like, because nothing happened to her and her friends. So I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that shit. I don't know how people do it. I don't want to do it. That's too much on my plate, too much to think about. So God bless them.
Yeah. That would be something.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, like what you saw or what you were told, and you're like, when,
Yeah,
or even now.
See, now the human side of me, the natural, logical side of me is like, no, this isn't going to happen. It's my imagination. Because I'll tell you, and you have kids, so your wife, when you have kids, when you're a brand new mom, you start having really bad thoughts in your head. Like something bad is going to happen to your child. It's normal. I remember going to the doctor. Not that I wanted it to happen. I was seeing. He said it's natural because as a mom, you are preparing for any case scenario that might happen and how you're going to save your child.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I said, all right, that makes sense. Because I'm like, why am I hearing this stuff? Or like, or imagine this, like, if she falls, like, what am I going to do? Like, this is, and I know, like, I plan of escape, or, if she runs away, I set up a plan in my head for every scenario possible. So it is normal. But, wait, that felt
Yeah.
prophetic.
Yeah, Octopus had a prophetic dream last night.
Yeah. Hoping it isn't.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell you, don't take a lot of dreams to heart. It's a rarity that people do that. Because I tell people sometimes it's your subconscious spilling over. And sometimes you can almost figure out, like when you dream that you're running like that, or you couldn't get away. You know what? You're stressed out from the day. You're running away from your problems. You're running away from bills, or you're having, marriage problem. That's what it is, or, if you die in the dream, it's like, you just want to get it over with. Like you're sick of all these bills or whatever the problems. So, my best friend, who is not a psychic, but let me tell you, she has dreams. And I met another girl too. My daughter's school secretary would have dreams that would come true. It was so crazy, but not during the day. Like they're just normal people. Like I remember she said, I had a weird dream that my uncle died and left me money. Do you know the next day she's like, April, my uncle died and he left me money. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
dream about me tonight.
Where's
Before we go, Octopus says thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why, Octopus? It's because I don't want you to worry like that something bad's going to happen. It really is our subconscious spilling over. I don't have those type of dreams, so it is your subconscious.
Well,
all right. Well, I want to thank
so much fun. You see, you got to go back.
I can't believe 51 minutes went by so quick.
Yeah.
And
I'm from Jersey. I can talk. No. You give me wine. You sit me down. We're having a great conversation.
Well,
that's one of the good things we do right away with the toast, right at the beginning of the show.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
You bleeped off right when I said, let's get the toast out of the way. And I'm like,
I heard you say that. I had already hit it.
I'm like, we're just going to drink without them.
Listen, we'll schedule another day. I'll come on. I'll do readings for the audience, and we'll post it more. I didn't have time to post it, and we'll do it in advance. I'm telling you, people love this. Octopus, you got to come on. Give you a reading. They'll love it. It's a lot of fun too, and it's uplifting. You have a laugh.
Octopus is going to have to come back and change the name to Octopus with Friends then.
Yeah. Octopus, we're your friends.
So
maybe you're too handsy. That's what. Ever think of that, Octopus?
With all those tentacles, they got 8 of them.
That's true.
But no, this was fun. Thank you. And
thank you for having me. Yeah. Really, it was great meeting you guys. I love you. So we'll do this, have me back on. We'll do this. I'll tell you, we'll have a blast.
Awesome.
We definitely will have to do that again.
I do have a question from my wife. She asked if she could reach out to you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to answer you tonight, though. I'm going out.
No. She's not.
I know, I'm kidding.
But have fun.
I'm always joking, like half the shit that comes out of my mouth is just joke.
I'll tell her no. She said no. She's
no,
you're not allowed.
You're a bitch. No, absolutely. Have her reach out to me. You have my email address, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
yes. You have all my stuff.
I can give it to him.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Your night and have a good time.
Thank you. I'm going out with my besties. I'm so excited. I'm getting a night off. I have to decompress.
You have to sometimes.
Yeah. Because sometimes I get beat up. Sometimes you have a really rough week, like where it's like really sad. I've had really some sad readings where I actually cry. And that's hard. It's really hard on me. But it's nice for them. It reassures them too. But then a lot of them, I do a lot of my psychic readings, and some of them it's my boyfriend coming back. And I'm like, no. I had a woman I never had a bad review, and she did it on friggin' Google. Oh. Wait, I'm going to tell you. I have to tell you a quick story. She calls me up. She books like a 15-minute reading, which I don't do anymore. She wants to know about this guy. And I'm like, does he, I said to her, I said, does he even know about you? And she goes, and honest to God, he knew, he worked with her. Now, mind you, she's probably 35 years older than him. Never had a romantic anything with him. He's with a girl. And I said, and the girl's even younger than the guy. He's not leaving his hot young girlfriend for the older woman, and she was a mess. She's not like a hot older woman. And I'm telling him, like, hon, I said, why do you care? Like, she kept asking me, will he leave her? I said, she's pregnant. And she goes, yeah, I heard she was pregnant. So I'm picking up that this woman's pregnant. I said, they're going to get married and she's pregnant. I said, why do you care? She writes on there. She just kept asking, why do I care about the guy? And so I had to write. I said, lady, because you were having an imaginary relationship with somebody that didn't even know about you. That's in a relationship. But I was like, so.
Stalker.
Yeah, I hate relationship readings. Please don't call me.
And before you go, one more thing, Octopus, he'll be seeing you again for sure.
All right, great, Octopus. I'm so happy. Follow me on Facebook or wherever. I'm going to be doing TikToks and I'm going to be making them. I love to have a few drinks and make TikToks.
I will display her. She has a Facebook account as well.
Yeah.
I will display her.
I'm very active on it. So. Yeah.
All right.
Somehow I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I did not put the Facebook on there.
That's okay. It's April Psychic Housewife. You know.
Everything else is there. I got.
Yeah. You know what? I have like 3 accounts. I have to try and freaking merge them, but I have my verified account, April Busset. Then it'll say Psychic Housewife because I have April Psychic Housewife, and I rarely go on. I'll post on there, but I'm not active on there. Sometimes I have to, check because people leave me messages, and tell them stop messaging me here. But 3 freaking accounts. What the hell is wrong with me? Who needs 3 Facebook accounts? What like it's the same name. It's not like I'm using one to stalk people. That's
the 4th one.
Yeah, I did on my regular one. It's like 8,000 followers. So that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
that would
guys.
be great.
Yep.
Yeah, have me back and we'll talk. And I'll be talking to your wife.
All right.
I'm not talking about you, but
It's all good, I hope.
Oh yeah, I don't think she could say anything bad about you.
Oh, she could. No.
All right,
thank you.
it's 8:00. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see you again. Sean, reach out to me again.
Will do. Thank you, April.
All right, thanks, guys, for having me on.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for coming on. But goodbye.
Bye.
All
So,
right.
She was great.
She was. That was a great show. Thanks,
That
Octopus.
indeed was.
They said great show.
Yes. That was sorry, at least I caught half the show with my technical difficulties I had early on.
Yeah, you came back on strong. You didn't do that little freaky thing like you should have saw it yourself. And I was like yeah. So
yeah, I heard I was like a monster showing up right like this all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then but you shook, like the screen shook, and it was like just like coming out every time you would freeze.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was. You didn't do it on the show, but that would have been pretty good.
I will have to check that out when I rewatch that part of the show because that would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to. Do you have anything to add by chance for people?
No, just check out Got Knockers. We're making some changes. Going to have a website, all that good stuff. She got asked to speak in the UK, so we're heading to the land of Big Ben and the Queen, and or the King now. So maybe I can get. No, I'm not English, so I can't get knighted. I'm Irish and Italian. I'll get kicked the hell out of there.
I'm gonna say, yeah, you wouldn't be very popular there.
Yeah, no. So no, that's gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna go in July to the UK. So we're gonna make a little trip out of it. See Stonehenge and all of that good stuff. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So.
And she does some travel agent work on the side too, right? Or does she still do that?
She does. She's trying. Yeah, she's working with a girl I went to high school with, and if you reach out to us if you want to book a trip, she could work a deal. Whatever she got. Yeah, she's trying to do anything to try to get away from healthcare. Being a paramedic is not easy. The calls.
No, it's not.
Now, knock on wood, it's been about 3 months since she's been assaulted, but there was a point there where she got assaulted twice in like a month. So it's rough, but for now it's paying the bills until either Got Knockers take off or something. Yeah. So.
Well, that's what matters, at least.
Yeah. And the thing is, she's a damn good paramedic. I know she thinks she's okay. I think she's really good. If there was somebody I knew that needed a paramedic, I'd want her on the scene. Just, and I'm not saying that because she's my wife. If she was a shitty paramedic, regardless if she was my wife or not, I'd be like, run, call 911 and get or 912 to see if there's another line. No, I'm kidding. So
that's a tough way. The things that you see doing that kind of work. Yep. I have a scanner here, so I hear a little bit, but nothing like what they really see. Just what's going on at the scene.
It's not, sometimes she gets people, it runs the gamut. She gets nice people that are appreciative, and then she gets the people that feel like they're entitled, to the people who just don't give a shit, like, why are you even here? Or, it's like, and then you get the ones that feel like they're entitled, like they get a hangnail, and they're like, in Pennsylvania, you can't go to a house and say, look, I have a nosebleed, and you put tissue paper up your nose and boom, it stopped. And if they say they want to go to the hospital, she has to take them to the hospital. She cannot refuse, you can't just say, no, I'm not taking you. Now, mind you, it'd be cheaper if somebody drove you or you drove yourself to the hospital than paying an ambulance. And another thing is, since we're still live, the misconception is with that nosebleed is, hey, I'm going to go to the hospital because I'm going to through an ambulance because I'm going to get seen faster. Those days are over, because if you go in with a nosebleed and somebody either in an ambulance or a car comes in with cardiac problems or something more serious, those are going to be taken back. It doesn't matter how you got there. It's, basically your symptoms and what's going on with you. But people will actually say to her, well, we called you because we're going to get seen faster in the emergency room. Yeah. Not anymore.
Wow.
Not anymore.
That's amazing.
That's
hard to believe.
Like April was
totally non-emergency.
Exactly. So, hey, maybe we can start a business. We could start a non-emergency Uber business, and we could maybe partner up with April to see if she'd want to start a spirit Uber. Maybe it's traveling through dimensions is tiresome. When they get here, they want to jump in a car and we could drive them somewhere. I don't know how we're going to get paid, but
that's true. That is a minor issue, but I can see where they could be tired and they could use the ride.
But I mean, the right spirit who could tell you a lottery number. I mean, I would love to have the $1 billion Mega Million money, but I'll take a couple 100,000 on the Cash 5 for here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
so
I would love that.
5 numbers every once in a while. We'll give you a free ride.
Yeah, that would work. Octopuses, hooters, and knockers. Them Sasquatch are wild.
You got it. Check out Got Knockers, Octopus. It is a play on words, and it's all my wife's design and brand and trademarked. So yeah, we do.
Did you ever get a picture possibly of the shirt that was bought for Dolly Parton?
No,
whatever happened there?
But I think no, we haven't. I wish. But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to. Excuse me. I said to her when we go back again, we should be, we got to do the @Dolly Parton on all the social medias that she's on, and be like, look, we're coming back. I mean, or maybe we can make one with Got Knockers on a pink shirt with like something that we could do it like sparkly for her, and then we could post it and be like, this is for Dolly, Come on and get it. Or we're going to show up at Dollywood going, where's Dolly? I'm not leaving until I see Dolly. If I don't see Dolly, I'll believe that's not Dollywood named after Dolly Parton. So, yeah. No, I wish we would get that. That would have been awesome.
And Octopus says awesome. He'll check things out.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, the couple things that we had, like, remember when we were at the first year, some guy bought a bat from us, the Knockers, and he's like, I'm going over to play baseball somewhere. He's like, I'm going to take your bat. I'm like, we're like, get a picture of you over, I forget where he was going to play. Never got us a picture. And then when we went to that Busset Psychics, and better not say where that is in case somebody thought it was a great thing, but there was a thing up in New York that we went to, and we were the only Bigfoot people, even though they asked us to be there. It was pretty much just like psychics and stuff like that, and we didn't really fit it. But there was a tie-dye place, and the one girl bought I don't think she did, but somebody else bought a T-shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tie dye." I'm like, "That'd be awesome. I would love to see," because we don't know how to tie dye. We never got a picture of that, because I would love to see, what God Knockers on tie dye T-shirts look like.
Should look pretty good, I would think.
But yeah, that's a skill that you have to get, because the girl next to us was saying she had honed it in, and it was so. And then Dolly, of course, would be the pinnacle. So yeah, anybody out there who wants to buy a T-shirt and be a smoke bottle for Got Knockers? I mean, because who better than Dolly to have a shirt for Got Knockers? Like the
absolutely, there is no one better.
No, legendary for her knockers.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That would be one hell of a promotional picture for you guys.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hey, maybe they'll come back and buy her another shirt this year.
Well, there's always a chance, even who knows, maybe at least they got to know it exists. There's always a chance of a picture turning up down the road, I guess.
No, the story was
check out her social places. Have you done that?
Have to, but even though the story was she was supposed to wear it for her husband, but I don't know. I mean, it's not a shirt that you can't wear anywhere else, but we'll see how that goes. But we're definitely, I said that, we're coming back because we're signed up for the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference again. So it's always a fun time.
I can see that easily.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for people that tune in this far, if you like the broadcast, because you're helping us out by liking and sharing, thank you for tuning in and watching on Facebook, or giving a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel and sharing on YouTube. If you watch this far, don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of future broadcasts. Thank you. We appreciate everybody. And thank you for chat. And especially Octopus. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
On the way out, Michael, anything to add?
Nope. Just have a good night, everybody. And come on back again for our next show.
All right. I will take us out then. Good night, all.
Good night.
This has been a CARC Universal production.